Guess I'm recording both of these in grayscale today. I don't know if this is coming out first or second today, but I recorded the other one wearing a piece of gray clothing as well. I might need some variety in my closet. Let me know if you have any recommendations. Something to match my vibrant personality. Anyways, I saw something really funny that I wanted to share with you because I think there is an often overlooked element to sports. And that is the element of surprise. I'm talking about ambushes. I'm talking about waiting in the weeds, the fake retreat of the old Mongolian Empire where you pretend to run away and then you come back with dudes like on the flanks as well. I need to stop watching history documentaries, but the element of surprise. Not trying to outwork or out-technique your opponent, not trying to outthink them, but literally trying to fool them. With VAR, this has become more difficult. The art of flopping is not as appreciated as it once was, which honestly, great. Nobody likes flopping unless it's for your team, in which case nobody wants to admit it, but everybody loves players on their own team flopping. As long as they get the call, who really cares? But that art has disappeared with VAR, but there is one way that you can attempt to hoodwink and bamboozle your opponents, as the great philosopher Zealand once titled a YouTube video 2 days ago. Hoodwinking and bamboozling your opponent can be something as simple as, let's say, playing rock, paper, scissors. Because that's what it was for these two fine gentlemen in... Where was this? So these are two Feyenoord players about to take a free kick in what I could only assume is the Eredivisie, which would be the Dutch league. And they are both left-footed players. And they stand over the ball, as is observed right here, playing a hearty game of rock, paper, scissors. Now, first of all, very important. Screw Napoleon Dynamite here for getting in the way, right? Because I wanted to see who won. Veffer, or whatever his name is. He's blocking this excellent game of rock, paper, scissors. And then somebody else comes. This is all, I want you to understand, a charade. In honor of the Oscars being on Sunday, this was some high-level acting that was occurring. Every single thing around this, from Veffer trying to hide who's going to win, to this guy coming in here and pretending to be mad at what's going on. And then at the end of that, with those two guys standing near the ball, it was a different player. Somebody that was not involved in the rock, paper, scissors, a right-footed player that took the shot. And understandably, given the two left-footed players were the ones that were playing rock, paper, scissors, he was assuming the ball was going to be bent over the wall. But instead, it's a right-footed player who was able to pull it towards the left side of the goal, and he scored. Very easily, actually, because the goalkeeper was on the way in the other direction. And he looks... honestly, quite befuddled. And you might be sitting here thinking, well, I'm going to blame the goalkeeper. I don't want to blame the goalkeeper in this instance. I want to give a hearty compliment to the two players that didn't even take the free kick, the two left-footed guys that were playing rock, paper, scissors. They distracted the goalkeeper, confused the entire situation, and opened up what was a relatively easy goal for Feyenoord, who are competing hard at the top of Eredivisie. They're 10 points off PSV right now. But they are in second, and they're doing well. And they're doing well because of stuff like this. And here is something I want to know. I want to know if this was preordained. And if it is, can we please get it in the game Football Manager or EAFC or something? Because I would love to have some sort of tactical game plan that I can deploy where my guys are playing ring around the rosy before a corner. I actually feel like that's happened before. Do I remember that? But doing something to disorient your opponent, anything at all, to disorient your opponent, to distract them, to make them think that something like this is not about to happen when actually it's part of your conniving plan, is genius. And if it was those two individual players that came up with that idea, incredibly well done. If it was the coach, that's one of the best things I've ever seen. To have a coach say, look, at this point in the match, we get a free kick in this area. We're going to pretend to play rock, paper, scissors. Next week, it's tiddlywinks. I brought some cards for Uno 2 weeks from now, and we're just going to keep knocking this off down the line. This is, however, as much as I'd love to entertain the idea that you could just keep playing games at the edge of the box until the end of time, this is not something that you can do more than once. Because if you were a goalkeeping coach, you do not earn your salary if you do not go to every goalkeeper ever and point out that this happened already. That they did this, they attempted to bait them in behind the wall. So what you do, if you're Feyenoord, to keep them guessing, You do the exact same thing. You play rock, paper, scissors. The goalkeeper thinks, nah, I'm not falling for it, and leaves a ton of space behind the wall and an easier target for one of your two left-footed players. Or say it's on the other side, one of your couple of right-footed players that could put that ball over the wall, and they'd have a lot more space to do it because the goalkeeper's going to assume he already knows what's happening. And then it is literally like actually playing rock, paper, scissors. Well, they went rock last time, so I'm going to go paper. But what if they anticipate that by going scissors? So then I want to go rock. But then, of course, if I do that and they just do paper again like I was initially worried about, I'm screwed. And then what ends up happening is you go rock and they go rock for no discernible reason, and then you have to load it up and do it again. There's a qualifying factor here. They didn't break this out at the most necessary time. They're actually winning in the 73rd minute. They're up 2-0 against Heracles Almelo when this happens, which changes the tone of it just a little bit. From this would have been a genius move to we're kind of rubbing it in, Oma. Like they're kind of showing off. But if you're gonna use a one-time, like this is one of those old muskets, right? You've loaded the powder with the rod in there, and you're sitting there, and you got you can't fire the dang thing more than once. Why are you gonna use it at this point? Which leads me to my grand conclusion here that it was the players that thought of it. The players came up with this. They were having a good time. Vibes were good. They were up 2-0. They figured, let's just see if this works. And there's obviously no discernible proof that it did work. You'd literally have to ask the goalkeeper if the reason he was cheating behind the wall was because he saw the game of rock, paper, scissors. I mean, from the camera angle, we couldn't even see most of the game of rock, paper, scissors because Napoleon Dynamite got in the way. So I don't even know if it worked. It was done at a time that was almost designed to kind of rub it in for the other team. But you got to do everything it takes to win. And I want to go on the record here. I am a big believer in if you don't want the other team to do all this stuff and have fun while they're out there, then don't lose, right? If it does bother you that they're playing rock, paper, scissors over a free kick in an attempt to fool the goalkeeper, but honestly, before they score the goal, you don't know that's the truth. If that does bother you, then don't be losing by a couple of goals, right? But if you're winning and you want to go have a good time and go do this sort of stuff, it's great. And you know me already, I'm a big fan of players showing their personality in this way anyways. I just play rock, paper, scissors by yourself if you're out there and you're bored enough. I had a fun childhood. But if you do end up playing against Feyenoord in Europe, be wary of the games. The games could get you in trouble. But the word is out. The jig is up. No more rock, paper, scissors for Feyenoord. But it would be kind of funny if they ended up doing some sort of commercial or hosting the rock, paper, scissors world championships or something. I don't know. It would also be funny if, hey, let's say you were beating Feyenoord by a couple of goals. Why not fire up the rock, paper, scissors then? Or perhaps offer it to Santi Jimenez, who was apparently the winner of this rock, paper, scissors battle. He was the guy that was lining up to take it left-footed before, lo and behold, the other dude took it. Which, honestly, the best twist in this story is if the rock, paper, scissors was actually Hoofer was going to take it, and then the other guy just blew it off and took it anyways. And then there would be layers to this story. Have we accomplished anything? Probably not. But rock, paper, scissors was played. A goal was scored. And now you know. Okay.